So, hello everyone, and welcome to official day one of Power BI. Okay, and we are starting today with introduction of Power BI and what is Power BI and so on. Okay, so just let me share my screen as well. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Just yeah. Go. I'm so sorry. I just don't know why this is not working. It's working a little slow. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So, what is Power BI? Let's understand that first. Okay. So, Power BI is a data aggregation tool which aggregates the data, stores the data, and then helps to visualize the data. Okay. And it has three different components to do the same. Okay. So one is Power BI service, one is Power BI desktop, and another is Power BI server. Power BI service is the one that you see on cloud, app.powerbi.com. Okay. Just let me share my whole screen so that I can show you that. Mhm. So when you go here, so I hope everyone was able to install the SQL Server and the Power BI desktop. Were you guys able to do it, or how is it?
Yes, we were able to do it.
Okay, that's great.
Basically,
Let's.
I couldn't find any link or anything for my Mac.
Oh, so did you try to download it and install it?
Basically, there is a
Ideally, it
no.
should be very simple to install it.
Basically, there is a no. I couldn't find any link or any downloaded for the Mac because just I opened the Microsoft.com and searching for the Power BI downloads. There is only one link for Windows user, but I couldn't find any Mac.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Let's see. Ideally, they should do. Do you have a Mac, right?
Yeah.
So can you check in your apps? Do you have Power BI? Because in Windows computer we have Marketplace, right? So wherein Power BI exists, and ideally, I have seen Mac users also using Power BI. So not sure how they download it because I don't own a Mac. So you need to, can you just figure out something around that? I'll help you out. I mean, like I'll also search that how to do it. Yeah, but usually it is there. Okay. But
But
were
it
you able to download SQL Server? Because SQL Server should be able to download, right? No? Who was it? I'm sorry. who raised that question?
Yeah, Devang here. So can you send
Yeah,
me the link of the SQL server in the chat so I can download that one?
sure. I think this should work on both Windows, Linux. Mm, just see if this works
Mm-hmm.
again. If it does not, let's connect later. Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Okay, so this is Power BI service. Okay, the app.powerbi.com. Okay, this will be available only and only if you have corporate email ID. Okay, it's not open for students right now. So I'm just trying to figure out if they have rolled out the new update wherein they allow it. But yeah, so this is Power BI service, app.powerbi.com. So if you guys have your corporate email IDs, then you can log in and you have trial of 60 days or something. Yeah, and you can work around this. Okay, but do
And
not register right now. Okay, I'll tell you like in mid of the class that we should register it because otherwise the days will just go away waste, right? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
and just in case if we don't have a corporate ID, what do we do? Like, how do we? Uh,
Then you cannot have a hands-on practice, but I'll walk you through this. Okay, in later classes.
even
Right
even
now,
the
you do not need it. It is just to show you that this is Power BI service.
even the Outlook will not work on that if you have an Outlook email ID.
Try and make it work, but ideally it does not work that way. It requires a organization email ID.
Okay.
Yeah, you can try and check, but yeah, but do not check right now because it's just not needed right now in initial stages. Okay, so in initial stages, we will be only and only working with Power BI desktop. That's it, nothing else. Okay, and Power BI service is something to share and collaborate. Okay, so sharing and collaboration means first you create the Power BI report here, you publish it on the Power BI app, and then from here you can share your report to other people and create a public link, private link, and so on. Allow embed reports into your website and so on. So this is what Power BI service is used for. Okay, so ideally you do not require this until and unless you have gone through some development of a report. Okay, so that is something which you need to do first. Okay, so do not register just yet. Okay, otherwise you will not be able to have the number of days left, and yeah, like you won't be able to practice it when I actually walk you through this. So yeah, do not register it right now. It's not really needed. And even if you do not have any corporate email ID, that's also fine. It's really not required because when I browse through everything, I'll show you how to go where and all that. And we will have recorded videos as well. So you can keep it with you, and whenever you want to work around, you can just brush up. Okay, great. Got it. This is Power BI desktop, the second element of Power BI, right? And here we do most of our data aggregation, data transformation, data import, and yeah, and more, much more things. Okay. So there is DAX functionalities, there is model, creating model. Model is basically, creating relationship between two tables. Okay. Then this is the table view. Table view shows that how many tables are present, and what is the data present in it. Can we add new column to it? Can we add a measure to it? And so on. Okay. This is your basic report view. There are few things here to note. One is filters. Filters pane is something where you store the slicers or filters. Okay. And something like date slicer, or if you have some text field which requires to be filtered as something such as department or country, region, then sub-region, product categories, and so on. So some types of filter based on which you would want to visualize, change the visualizations, and get to know more details about it. So that's something you will be doing. Okay. And this is the visualizations pane. These are the visualizations available already into Power BI. Okay. And there are other more visualizations. Once you click this three dots, you can just click on get more visualizations, and then it will open up this. So there are some paid visualizations, some are which are created by some different organizations. So some are paid, and some are free visualizations, and which you can just download and get to use it. Okay, so there are so many different things that you can do here. Uh, Fair? Yeah. And then there is Power BI Server. Power BI Server is a feature of Power BI Premium. So there are three types of licenses of Power BI. Let's just see. So there are, first is free account, which right now I am working on. So this is the free account that I have. Okay. And Power BI Desktop is any which way is free. So Power BI Desktop does not have any restrictions to use. Okay. So this is always free. The second thing is Power BI Pro license. Pro license is a single user license, and this is the trial version that I'm using right now. Okay, so once this trial gets over, I'll be downing back to the free Fabric free account. Okay, Power BI. So Fabric is something new that is introduced. We are not going to cover that into our course. Okay, and Power BI Premium. So Power BI Premium is advanced level of Power BI Pro. Okay, and it supports larger data sets and larger model sizes. So large means what? Large means terabytes of data, petabytes of data, and so on. Okay, more than that. And it also allows you to store the data on it. Okay, and publish huge reports on it. So that is what it is used for mainly. And yeah, it is kind of it is used as an enterprise level thing. Okay, so it includes all the features that are available in Pro. Pro allows publish and share of reports. Okay, and it can be published across like multiple workspaces, and sharing across the organization, sharing the reports, sharing the data sets, creating reports using this data set, and so on. So that is what is included into Power BI Pro license. And premium, it uses extra XML read-write functionality, deployment pipelines, and other enterprise scale features. One of the major difference would be, I would say, is that it Power BI Pro license. It allows eight types. I mean, like it allows schedule only 8 times a day, whereas premium after premium it is like multiple times a day. You can even have like every 5 minutes or something like of schedule to refresh the data as well. So that's what Power BI Premium is used for. Okay, that's one. Then this is something they have put it under a new umbrella called as Microsoft Fabric. Okay, so here they have all the premium user license, but it is on a how to put it, like it is on a enterprise level. Okay, and it will have more capacity than what a premium license can hold. Okay, and also it has auto scale functionality here, like it is there. And here this one, it is saying that this is pay as you go and so on, it varies. So it is an organization level license, this three. Okay, and you cannot just go ahead and buy it. That's one. And second thing is, this is like multiple people licenses. So whenever there is an organization level license, so you have some set of licenses, like 50 licenses, 100 licenses, 100 users or 50 users or whatever. So according to that, they have their pricing range and so on. So that is what this is about. And it also supports different uh, uh, like Microsoft Azure consumption commitment. So this is basically, you can set consumption on Azure, that how much it is consuming, and it can showcase there. It wouldn't be any more independent. It would be along with Azure. So that's what is pricing here for different types of licenses. Main is Power BI Pro license and Power BI Premium license. Okay.
Hello, Bhavarika.
Yes. Yes.
My question is, can we check what type of license we are using in existing
Yeah,
user?
sure. Why not? Yes, why not? You can just go ahead and check here what type of license it is. Okay.
Okay,
So right now I have a free account license and I'm on trial for this thing, pro license.
okay.
Okay.
And the other question is like, okay, once we download the Power BI, are we downloading all three of them, like the Power BI services, desktop and SQL
No,
Server?
no. Power BI Desktop is a app which you download and on which you will be working. The other two are online features.
Okay, the
Okay. So
Power.
this is the Power BI service. This is a cloud server kind of thing, you can say. Okay, which is dedicated to Power BI. And the server part is basically the workspaces wherein you actually store the data sets and your files. Okay. So this is what is your workspace. And this can be called as your server, but ideally the server feature is in Power BI Premium. Okay. So the server logic, it's different from what we have here. Okay.
And what is the functionality of the desktop over here?
So as I said before, like Power BI Desktop is used to create reports and publish
Okay.
it on Power BI Cloud Service.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
So publish on the cloud services, that would be the Power BI
Power BI
services.
Service. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Whenever Power BI Service or Power BI Cloud Service is one and the same.
So for
Okay.
now, should we just use the desktop version or are we using both simultaneously from the get-go?
So firstly, we will use only the desktop right now. Okay. And after using the desktop, we need to publish the report. So we have created the report. Okay. Here we will create the report because it's easier to use the tools here. Okay. You can create the report on your Power BI
Hey,
service as
you're
well.
not audited.
Sorry. So we are creating the report here because the tools here are easier to use, the bookmarks and everything. The same tools you will get here as well. Okay. So if I click on create, Okay, see the same things I'm getting here. Manually enter the data or user published model, or do things, but it says download desktop. Okay, because what happens is the data sets that we want to upload or we want to use as data sources, okay, those options are available more over here rather than here. Okay, because this is a online version, like a service version. So here limited features are available, but it works same, more or less the same. Once you like publish the report, if I open one report which is published, like this one, okay, and I go into edit mode of this, then it will be same as what, I see on the desktop.
So
See,
this
can you
this
see
report
here?
this report is generated on the desktop version, right, and published on the BI services, right?
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So this is used, I mean, like, see, the visualization pane, the filters pane, the data pane. It's same as what I have on my desktop. Okay. Data, visualization, and filters. Okay. But it's easier to work on desktop. That's one thing. And also publish report is mainly used for, providing the data to the user, because this is a live report now. Okay. Now I publish this report. Now I'll be sharing this report to many people. Okay. If there is a small change, you can do the small change here. Okay. But if it is some large change like replacement of the visual or changing of the logic or something like that, then the uh, thing is that you should do it on desktop and then publish it. Because right now these people are using this report. Okay. And if it is going to be in development mode for say 2 to 3 days, if your development takes that much of time, then it does not make sense to put the edits here. Okay. So it does not make sense to edit the report here. Instead of that, you go ahead and edit the report on Power BI desktop and then publish it again. And then the changes will be reflected. Does it make sense
So
that way?
would that be like a live update once you publish it, and anything changes that the desktop, no,
Yeah.
the
Yeah. So whenever you change something here, it would be a live update. It will save it on live report, because this is a live report, right? This is
yeah,
a
so
report which multiple users will be accessing at the same time. And if you change something, if you remove this date filter suddenly, they'll be like, oh, what happened to the report? Even if I put, if this is the filter that I have put up, okay, then they would be able to see even this particular change. And they will be
but
like, oh, data is not working. I cannot see anything. Okay. So you have to be very mindful about what you are changing and where you are changing. Fine. Yes.
yeah.
So for online version, there's no such need of actually publishing it. You'll be, you'll be making the change real time itself, right? Whereas when
Yeah,
you change
but
it on
for the
desktop,
but one time you will have to at least publish it, right? Using this desktop version.
yeah, so desktop you make the change until you publish, it's not visible online. But
No.
on the yeah, okay,
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, but on the online version, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there no such way that hey, until you actually publish it online, it won't be applicable, it won't be visible to all the users?
You can choose to not share the report until and unless you are ready. So this is right now in my workspace. I'm not sharing it with anyone right now. Okay,
Okay,
so I can make any number of changes here. But once I, create share a link, embedded link, okay, or publish to web or something like that, or share the report as is with other users, with other workspace holders, okay, Until then, I can make any number of changes. I'm not saying do not make changes here. Yes, I said, like I said before, that if there are small changes, you can make it here because it's, a little tad difficult to use. And also it is a live report. So people would be using it. So if you change something and if if it breaks something, then you'll have to fix it. So why would you take that risk instead of, like create it here and then do it? But yes, if it is your own workspace, then you can change it any number of times. You do not need to take anyone's permission for that,
And from
isn't
where we
it?
are and from where we are pulling this data?
This data we are pulling from the data model. Okay, so for data model, you need to publish the report, the semantic model. You need to publish the report for that. You can create a data model. That's also an option. Okay. So you can create a new semantic model. And then from here, you can export from Excel, CSV, or manually enter the data. Okay. So only these options are available when you are working with app.powerbi.com. But if you want to bring in data from a database, then you need to do get data, and then you need to bring it from any source that you want to bring it: web, text file, CSV file, SQL Server, Oracle, Redshift, Azure, I don't know, and many other things. Okay, so there are so many data sources that are available here. Okay,
So, Bhavika,
yeah.
so when you were telling about the Power BI desktop and the service after publishing, so once we did do everything and then publish in the Power BI service in the cloud, it will be live, right? So if you make
Yes.
any changes on the live, it will be updated. But if you do anything on your desktop, do you need to publish it again?
Yes, you need to publish it again. It won't be synced directly.
Okay.
Because sometimes some changes are not fixed. And what happens in a real time scenario, that they will not give you something, as simple change as, changing a name of the field or something like that. Okay. They'll actually ask you to create a visual, or, update a visual, update a formula, or, create a new page altogether. So these are all some changes that come in when you are creating a report. The
Okay.
base report, the first time you create a dashboard, yes, that is something that you create for the first time. But whenever you do an enhancement, it would be like creating a new page, or getting replacing a visual, or making changes onto the visual, change the columns of a visual, and so on. So that when you do it on Power BI service, it is not feasible to do that because already people are using it on live scenario. So you cannot just go ahead and change it within just say 1 hour or 2 hours. You cannot keep the report down.
Yeah.
There is no downtime there because there are hundreds of users which are using. So it does not make any sense to go ahead and change it there. If you have something small as changing the field name or something, or changing the visual name, correcting spellings, or changing a KPI or something like that, which is very small. So that you can do it online. But then again, what happens is whenever you want to develop, then you will have to
Go
take
to
the
the
version.
desktop.
Yeah, take the version from the cloud and then download it, and then you can you would be able to work on it because you have made changes here. You have not made changes on your desktop version. Okay, because
Yeah.
the both are not in sync at any point of time.
So whatever
Okay.
we do on the desktop does not impact the live. We need to publish it.
Yes, and whatever you do on cloud, it does not automatically come onto the desktop. You have to download it from there.
Download it. Got it.
Yeah.
So,
And
so
usually you won't get download rights. You do not have download rights because it's with admin. This is if you get a trial version, then you can work on it. But otherwise, you do not have download rights. In real-time scenario, of course, there would be restricted workspace rights that you would have. Make sense?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, and suppose I have published a report, you have also published a report, and you are trying to edit my report. So, you know, so to avoid that edit, okay, we do not allow edit on Power BI service. So the edit on Power BI service is always restricted. Okay.
Yeah.
But it
What's
is
the
just sorry to cut in just a second. So it is just so that you know that this is also a way to create reports, which is why the workspace is there. Also, many people, what they do if they know Power BI, some functional analyst, or there might be project managers or team leaders, or whoever. So those guys, apart from developers, so developers would you always use Power BI desktop and then create the report. But some people who are users and they know Power BI because it's a simple tool to use. So if you give them this license, they would be able to create a new report, which is only, curated only and only for them. And they know how to do it basic of the reports. So they will, create by themselves. So this feature is for them. It is not for developers. For developers, use Power BI desktop and then move forward. Okay? Yeah?
So
Yeah, go ahead. You were
once you're using your Power BI services to connect to a connect to some may say connect to a SQL server and you're basically pulling in the data to generate a report. So you're basically establishing a connection and then working on the data from the, say for example, there's an
yeah,
employee database, right? I want to just get the salaries and date of joining and all that stuff. So I just only pick up those columns and pull into my report onto my on BI services and create a dashboard and publish it, right? Is that the way?
right. Yes,
And
yes, yes.
and if there is any change on the employee database, that would automatically reflect on the dashboard.
No, it will, yeah, database change. Yes, that will reflect onto the dashboard. Yes.
So basically, you're establishing one connection between BI services
But there is
and
a way to establish that connection. It does not do it directly. So I have my semantic model, which is belonging to SQL Server, but it does not directly refresh the data. There is a way to do it.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll come to that as well. Don't worry about that. It's fine. Okay. So that's something later on. Okay. You guys are asking me questions which are, way beyond. Do you even know how to import the data into this particular file and start with it? Okay. So those are some later on topics which we will definitely take it up. Okay. But right now, let's go with the flow. Okay. So first thing is that these are the three services which are present for, which are components of Power BI, Power BI service, desktop, and server. I hope you can see from here. Is this visible?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. So if this is visible, then I'm going to continue with this. Okay, then importing data. Okay, Power BI can import various types of data, Excel, CSV, text from web, from relational data sources, cloud, yeah, multiple data sources. Okay, so Excel, CSV makes sense. Those are table kind of. Okay. Relational data sources. What are relational data sources? Something like SQL Server, Oracle, Redshift, Synapse, analysis services. Okay. And so on. Web. Web is like you have a website and on that you have a table and you want to export that table onto your Power BI. Okay. So that is what is web. Okay. And cloud means analysis services you can use. You can have cloud cloud databases, okay, named as Redshift, then Synapse, then I don't know, many more others, okay, DynamoDB, yeah, that is also available, Cassandra. Yeah, so those are the databases which we can import the data from. It has two types of query modes, okay, like two types of import modes. One is direct query and one is import mode, okay. So direct query is basically the live connection between the data and the dashboard, okay. It does I mean, of course, whenever you publish it, you need to have some kind of connection or gateway to use that connection, okay. You need to install the gateways, but it is a direct connection. Whenever there is an update, it will directly reflect on the Power BI desktop, I mean Power BI report, okay. So that is what is direct query. And import query mode, it stores the
Bhavika, can
data.
you repeat this?
So the direct query mode is a live connection to the report, okay. So whenever there is a change into the database table, okay, it will reflect into the Power BI report or dashboard, okay. Clear? Makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah, I will walk through it. Don't worry about that. Okay. And whenever you have an import mode, okay, import mode means it stores the data onto this, okay. And it, whenever you publish it, it will share it as a semantic model. In direct query also, it shares it as a semantic model, but that semantic model is on a live connection, okay. So there is a little difference. It looks same, it looks exactly same, but there is a little difference. So let's try to, do some examples here. Okay. So I'm just
Bhavika,
connecting.
hello,
Yeah, go ahead.
hello.
Yes,
So
yes.
Bhavika, when we connect to a SQL server, so our laptop need to be on to transfer or refresh data.
No, right now you do not need to because you are not working with a live connection. But when you have in real time scenario, yes, your SQL server needs to be on. Whichever
Uh,
machine you have it on,
so
it
I
needs to
have
be on.
connected to a SQL server and then I publish a dashboard to the Power BI service. So to refresh the visualization, I our laptop need to be on.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
that is required.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
because if your laptop has the SQL server installed, then it is required. Okay,
Okay.
or
Okay.
wherever the SQL server is installed, that machine needs to be on. Okay.
Oh,
And the second
okay.
thing
Got
is,
it.
did you establish a gateway between that? Seems like you have already worked on it, so which is why I'm asking you. Did you
No,
establish
no.
a gateway between that?
I'm just a intermediate level.
Which is fine, but you need to establish a gateway to refresh the data. Otherwise, you won't be able to refresh the data.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but
Okay. Got it.
in direct query also you need to establish the gateway.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then only you can refresh the data. Okay.
So
Even
then,
on AWS and Azure, you need to establish a gateway and then only you can refresh the data.
so these gateways are nothing but connection strings, right? If I'm not wrong.
No, it is a connection. It's not exactly a connection string. Connection string is just to access the database. But what happens if the database is here? The Power BI service needs to know that it has access to it. So for that, we have something called as gateways, which allow you to connect with the databases. Okay. And you need to install it on that particular machine to allow the gateway. with Microsoft databases like Azure SQL and all that, it is easy because they are all online databases. So they do not require a gateway. And as for this is a Microsoft product, so it works without gateways there. Okay. But if you have Oracle, Redshift, or any other AWS server, or you have Oracle or on-prem SQL server, then you require gateways. Yeah. Okay. So let's start with importing Excel. Okay. So just click on get data and then Excel. Okay, you can do it from here as well, import data from Excel. So I have this Excel which holds financial data. So this is how it looks like. I'll show you the sheet as well. So this is the financial sample that I was referring to. Yeah. So it has segment, country, product, discount band, units sold, and so on. So this is a random data that I have downloaded from web. Okay. And you can do that too. Okay. And this is how it looks. Okay. So to note here is that it has a sheet named sheet 1. Okay. And here, see, there are two things, financials and then sheet 1. Okay, both look exactly the same. So financial is a auto created table by Power BI. It has identified there is a table and it has named it as financials. Okay, because so this is a different table that it has identified, and it has yeah, named it as financials. And the sheet 1, it looks as is. Okay. So if there are multiple sheets, you will be seeing it here. Okay. This is the navigator for Excel file. Okay. Then you click on financials and check if all the particular columns are present, not present. Okay. And then you because you know you already have both the data is same. So you can choose that, you know, I just want only one type of data and not everything. Okay. So if there are multiple sheets and having multiple different type of data, then you will be able to do it. Okay. So that's what is it is. Okay. And then you just click on load directly. Okay. If you want to load, or else you can choose to transform data. Transform data is basically used for transforming the data, like renaming the columns, removing the columns, changing the data types, or adding a new calculated column, or doing more stuff. Okay. But it is not necessary that you transform the data from here itself. Okay. Once you load the data, there is an option to transform the data as well. Okay. It is not necessary that, okay, one, you cannot, you know, edit the data later at later stages. Okay. So once the data loads, you can just right click it and allow it to, you know, go to transformations and yeah, edit the data. Okay. So this is financials. Okay. So you can right click here, edit query, which will open Power BI query editor. Okay. And from here, you can transform the data. Okay. So there are so many things that you can do here. You can check the what are the columns, what are the distinct values and all that. This is column statistics that you can see here because I have enabled it. Okay. And yeah. So that's there. You can see all the tables or all the queries that you have imported at the left. Okay. Right, you have the steps, different steps that you would perform to remove the column, to remove duplicates, to remove for certain rows, restrict the data, or like do transformations and so on. So that is what this Power Query editor is used for. The query language that we use here, this particular language, okay, this is called Power M query language. Okay. And the Power Query transformations are here. Okay. So if you click on like any column, you can transpose the data, reverse rows, count rows, and do more stuff here. So yeah, there is like you can run a Python script, you can run a R script for advanced level changes and work towards it. Okay. So this is direct. No, this is import mode. Okay, because Excel and CSV, they both work on import mode. Okay, by default. The query data, when you have SQL Server, at that particular time of exporting the data from SQL Server or importing the data, so it has the data connectivity, import or direct query. Okay, and there is a third mode as well that is called as hybrid mode. Okay, so you can have one table in import mode, one table in direct query, and that would be your hybrid. Okay, so like if you want, you can have dimensions into import mode or fact into direct query mode, or vice versa, like fact into the import mode and dimensions as a direct query. Okay, but beware that direct query has limited features. Okay, it does not have as many features as import query mode. Okay, so that data is restricted. Some DAX functions do not work with direct query. Okay, so it is not advisable to use direct query all the time. And import mode is best whenever you want to create a full-fledged dashboard, which can be refreshed at certain intervals. Okay, but when you want to create a real-time report, that is when you will use your direct query. Okay, what is real-time reporting? Whenever the data changes, you want to get it refreshed on your dashboard as well. So that is called as real-time data. Okay, something like stock market data, something where you are checking the trends, you are checking online data, and you want to check data, something which is changing at every second or something like that. That is what is real-time data. Okay, and to create that kind of dashboard, we use direct query. Okay, to trace the numbers back immediately. Okay, so that's certain things that we wanted to do today. What else was there on agenda? Direct query import mode. Okay, we are importing this data. Then data transformations. I
Yeah,
do not have
Bhavika.
really time right now. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, Bhavika. Actually, only when we are getting the data from our machine, we are only using the get data, right? So when we want to use the data from SQL Server, so we want to use the data modes. That's what I understand. Is that right?
Yeah, so not only SQL Server, any relational database. So even if you are, doing a OData feed, I think so it should be available like that. So when you put
Mm-hmm.
it here, so yeah, yeah, it has here also that what kind of refresh would you want. So OData feed is basically it can be SharePoint or Oracle data, OData feed, and web, it is like that. But it is not restricted to SQL Server only, import and direct query. This is shown
Mm-hmm.
here because this is SQL Server is a Microsoft product. So they have this
Okay.
Microsoft package here, which is why it is showing here import and direct query. But otherwise, I think you can create a direct query or import mode both on SQL
Mm-hmm.
Server or any other relational database.
Okay.
Okay.
Got
And
it.
when I talk about relational databases, it is, said that what is a relational database? Anyone knows? No?
So like as you said, okay.
So relational
So
databases wherein, yeah, go ahead.
the data are structured and stored in a tabular format in relational databases.
Exactly. Yeah. So the tabular format is important. Okay. So wherever the data is in structured format, that is called as relational database. And the data which we get here is, generally the data which comes into Power BI or which is used into Power BI is into structured format. Okay. Something like JSON file, nowadays we can extract JSON file as well. Okay. But as you know, JSON file is a unstructured format. Okay. MongoDB is an unstructured format. That also you can export here. But as the data keeps on changing, okay, so the clarity won't be there. Okay. So suppose tomorrow, you have a JSON file, you have exported it here or imported it on Power BI. Tomorrow, there is a one new column that has been added, one new attribute which has been added into the new entry. So that attribute will not be captured here. You'll have to refresh the whole data model and then it would be captured. So which is why JSON file, whenever it is in structured format, yes, you can export it, import it. But if you have unstructured JSON file, firstly, I would say recommend that, you make it into a structured format and then only use it here. Otherwise, it will not work as per our requirement. Okay.
Can you show us with a JSON file?
JSON file I do not have right now. Maybe tomorrow. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Sure.
I
Okay.
can you build your own relational database within BI and import data into the database?
how are you going to do that? And on
Uh,
what database?
no, I mean to say you create your own tables within BI and basically
Within BI means what? That is what, because whenever you are creating your own tables, you will need a platform to create it, isn't it? You cannot just create it anywhere.
you cannot do it on the Power BI desktop. This one.
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah, that's like, you adding your own data. Okay. So when you have your this is blank query. This blank query is there. So you can add it through that, or you can go into um you can just go here, tables. Okay, new table,
Yeah.
and then you can just enter your own data. Okay. But entering your own data, that would be something which you use only when you have some static data, which which will never change even after publish and does not require a refresh or does not require an updation. That is the data that you should enter.
Yeah, but
Okay.
when you're building this table, can we show a relation between two? Like, can I build couple of tables and show the relationship between them using a primary key or something like that?
Yeah, you will have to put on that much of hard work to do that. Of course, you can do that. Of course, no, that is possible to create multiple tables and then create like a relationship between them. But it is better if you bring in the tables, and because once you have created this table and you have entered the data, okay, and it would be a little difficult to edit it every now and then if you want to enter a new data, isn't it?
Yeah, but
So why would you do that?
now the question is like, okay, you create a table, only connect to the source, and pull in data for only those columns for which you have created the tables, and then create reports only for those columns, rather than pulling the entire data from the source. Just create a table with segment, country, and whatever is required, and get only those 4 or 5 columns into the BI. That is what I was thinking. Maybe I'm wrong over here,
Yeah.
but
No, you are not wrong. Whatever is your requirement. Whatever is your requirement, because right now we like we say customer is the king into sales. Here user is the king. Okay, whatever is the requirement of the user. If that is the requirement that is needed to be done, yes, why not? Okay,
and
but that
you
would
can
be a static report. My point was that would be a static report, or else whenever you want to change, you will have to go ahead and change it every now and then. Okay,
okay.
yeah. So I think so that's about it. Tomorrow we'll go through the transformations. Okay, data transformations and more transformations. I thought I will cover at least this 3 transformations today, but we'll cover this tomorrow plus more transformations. Okay, yeah, cool. See you guys tomorrow then. Have a great day.
Bhavika,
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
can you share that financial Excel so we can just follow with you?
Sure. No worries. I'll do share it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Nice
bye-bye.
to have you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Bhavika.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.